It's laundry day. I'm kidding, of course. I don't have a specific day for laundry. I just do it once it's piled up on my floor too much and I get sick of it. But hello, my name's Bailey. This is my channel and I want to start doing consistent weekly vlogs. Now, it's not really off to a good start because I meant to start this yesterday and now we're here today. So clearly not off to a great start, but I'm sure we can fix this. But basically I want to do a weekly vlog every week. That's what weekly means. Because I want to have consistent content on my channel like every week, and doing a weekly vlog gives me that, you know what I mean? So it's really smart. So basically, yeah, this is the start of a vlog and that's it. Wow. So it's not August yet, but it's almost August. It's the 27th, I do believe. It may be the 28th, I'm not sure. But the date will be up on the screen at some point. Back to my point, it's almost August and I have reading plans for August that I kind of really have to get done because once it's September, you know, it's gonna be a little bit harder for me to read bigger books because I'm going to be in school. So I need to catch up on what I'm behind on in August, and that means reading the Throne of Glass series. I need to read the first, second, third, and fourth book, which is over there, but I don't want to get it because it's under a big stack of books, in August. Now, here's my plan. I have a plan. Because I'm behind on this. I should have already read all of these. And I haven't. Because Queen of Shadows is the book of the month for August. But I haven't read any of these. So they're all the book of the month. But here's my plan. As long as I read one book per week, I'll be good. Like, I'll have read each book, you know? And 7 days to complete one book should be okay. And I'm already 100 pages into this one, so I think it's doable. It, to me, is doable if I keep my mind to it. Because reading a book a week, for one, is always my goal, to at least read 4 books in a month, because book per week is pretty standard. But now it has to be fantasy, and it's basically like binging a series, and I don't binge book series anymore. Like, when I originally read these, I binged them. And I don't know how I did that. Like, I'm not the same girl anymore. Wish I was. No, I don't. Maybe I do. This is the priority of with physical reading, because I'm also trying to annotate them because it's my second time through, and I don't know. I think my copy of this book, especially Throne of Glass, is cursed because the first time I tried to read this copy, couldn't get through it. Just could not read it. And then I borrowed my friend's copy and I blew through the book. I think it's this copy of the book that's cursed, but I'm stuck with it. This is the priority for August in terms of my, like, physical reading. I do have another book. I actually have a few books on my TBR, but they're, like, less priority, except for one. Another one's priority, but I'll talk to you about that when I'm actually reading it. But yeah, if you don't know, this series is about a girl named Selena. She is an assassin. And she was in prison. And one day this dude named Dorian, he's a prince, he comes up, he's like, hey, do you want to be my champion in my dad's competition to be my dad's personal assassin? And she says sure, because if she wins, she gets her freedom after like 5 years. And that's the premise of the first book, and then it all goes off the rails for the rest of the series. Yeah, so I'm rereading those, and I'm currently on Throne of Glass. So yeah, I really want to finish this. Like, it'd be solid if I could finish this before August, but like, I know I'm not going to. So as long as I finish this within the first week of August, I am content. I'm also currently reading Such a Fun Age by Kylie Reid. I don't know, I think that's the author's name. I'll put the cover here. I don't own a physical copy of the book, even though I kind of really want to buy a copy, but I'm listening to this on audiobook, and I usually listen to audiobooks when I'm like walking with my dogs, so we'll see when I finish that. I'm about 2 hours into it, and I'm really enjoying it so far. I haven't read the synopsis, but like, the synopsis that I know from hearing about it and from what I've read is that it follows these two women, Amira, who is a black woman, and Alix, I don't know how to pronounce her name still, who is a white woman, and Alix has a daughter, so she's a family, and she has a daughter, and Amira babysits for them. And one day Alix, or one night, she has this like accident, or like there's a whole ordeal going on in their house, and she needs the babysitter to come and like take her daughter for a bit because she doesn't want the police, like she doesn't want her daughter to see the police. So Amira comes, gets the kid, and they go to like a supermarket, and then she gets racially profiled and accosted by the police. And I think the overarching theme that I've heard people talking about on Twitter, because of the whole reading rush discourse, is that this book is about white people, more specifically in this case, like white women using black women for their performative allyship and to like look more woke. So I'm actually really enjoying it so far. And yeah, so that's what I'm reading currently. I'm gonna fold my laundry. I would listen to my audiobook to be like responsible, but I'm not. I'm gonna listen. I'm going to watch YouTube. So I'll update you later. Hopefully this weekly vlogging thing goes well. Let's go. I haven't updated you in a hot second, as in a day. Okay, and I don't know, I think the reason is I didn't anticipate how boring my life is. Dogs are just gonna go off. Okay, let me close my door and see if that helps. Yeah, legitimately my life is very boring. Especially right now, because like what I do every day is like I either don't sleep or I sleep in the middle of the day, and then I sit around, and then I walk the dogs at night, and then I sit at home in my bed at night because I can't sleep at night because I've got so many problems, and then it all repeats. So it's really not that interesting, which is really exciting to realize, but that's just how it's gonna be. The excitement, I suppose, has to come from me and not my life. What did I do today? Oh, I tried a Honeycrisp apple for the first time. By the way, I am not a fan of fruit. The reason, I don't like berries. Berries make me very uncomfortable. So I'll eat like watermelon, apples, things that don't like have juices, you know? I don't like that. So yeah, I like apples. My favorite, Granny Smith, but I can never find a good Granny Smith, so I also like Pink Ladies, but they didn't have Pink Ladies today, and green apples, like Granny Smiths, are never that good. There's something always wrong with them at the grocery store, so I never get like a good one. So I tried a Honeycrisp apple, because I'm like, what could go wrong, right? I'm not sure about Honeycrisp. They're a little bit bland, if I'm gonna be honest, like not much flavor, or anything really. Like not bad, but not good. I think the other one I also got were Pinata apples, and I have not tried those yet, so I'll update you on that when I try those. So that's what's up with that. I also had to get a bunch of like apples today because I just feel like trash. Like my body feels so shit right now. Like it feels sick. I had 2 nosebleeds today. I have a stuffed nose. Even though I have a stuffed nose like all the time, my stomach hurts. My body just doesn't feel good. So that's a little bit stressful for my hypochondriac self. So yeah, there really isn't much to say. I haven't started reading Throne of Glass because I really don't want to, but I have to. Such a fun age. I did listen to a bunch of it yesterday when I was walking my dogs, and I'm actually still really enjoying it. I just now really dislike Alex, I don't know. The white lady is upsetting me so greatly because she's like coercing Amira into a friendship, and it's really uncomfortable to read because it's like the way she acts around Amira, because she's trying to like get her to be her friend so she'll talk to her more and she'll become close with her, and it's just this weird attitude where it's like she's like in a way like seducing, but not like romantically, like seducing her into a friendship. And it feels very icky, and I'm not a fan of her perspective. I like reading from Amira's perspective. And then there's Kelly. He's a character that just got introduced. Well, not just got introduced, but he's just become relevant. I don't know about him. He's doing some whack-ass shit, so I don't know. I'm really liking the book. I'm just really uncomfortable reading from Alex's perspective. I'm gonna call her Alex because I just hate saying Alex. I just hate reading her perspective because she's so oblivious to the fact that she's super, like, acting super weird. So, yeah, that's all I can say right now. I need to start Throne of Glass tonight. Also, on August 1st, I'll show you now, I suppose, I am going to be starting a buddy read of Prior to the Orange Tree, this guy, with Ariel from Ariel Enchanted. I'll link her channel down below. We've been planning this buddy read for like a month, but we just like haven't gotten to it. Like we were supposed to read it in July, and then we just didn't do it. So August is the month. We're gonna be reading 75 pages a day. I split it all up. So these are like the actual like, I don't know, sections of the books. sections of the book, and then these are like the parts I'm reading per day. So it's 75 pages per day, which is definitely doable, but I'm also really intimidated because like the only adult fantasy I've read is Crescent City, and that's like barely adult fantasy to me. So I'm a little stressed out for this, but I'm also excited because I've heard really great things. Also, like, I always feel so accomplished when I read a big book. Like, the reason I ended up with this book is that I read Crescent City and then got overconfident and bought more adult fantasy that's super long. So how much more adult fantasy am I gonna buy when I finish this? That's the real question. I actually can't give you a synopsis of this, and I'm not even reading it right now, so I don't really have to, but I know there's dragons and a female-female relationship, which is exciting. That was like the big selling point in my mind. That's what I hear, and I'm like, I want to read that. But yeah, that's me currently. I'm gonna go walk my dogs because I'm predictable, and then I don't know. Such a fun age. I'm about like just over halfway through, and it's just wow. I need to talk to you about it, and I'm going to be doing spoilers just because like my anger is so immense, and like the book is good. I'm angry because I'm supposed to be. Okay, I'm back in the same spot. Perfect. So I'm about over halfway. Sorry, I'm gonna be like spoiling things, I suppose, but I'll give a timestamp for when I'm done talking about this. But okay, our main characters are Amira and Alix. Alix is the white lady, Amira is the black lady. And Amira works for Alix as her babysitter. And Kelly is a dude. He's white too. Their ethnicities are important. And he used to date Alix in high school. Mind you, she's old. He's old. They're in their 30s. So he used to date her, but now he's dating Amira. And yeah. And Alix is rich. She's rich. Her parents were rich when she was younger. And bish bang bong, this thing happened in the past, right? Where basically when they were dating in high school, Kelly and Alex, I'm gonna call her Alex because it's easier. She would write him letters because she's got a big thing on letters anyway, and she gave a letter to him about her house, and he showed it to this dude who happened to be black, and he wanted to throw a party there, and she was like, no, because obviously it's her property. Like, you don't, just because she's rich and she has a big house and lots of property doesn't mean you just are entitled to do whatever the fuck you want on it. So anyway, she ends up hanging out with Kelly that night or some night at her house, and this dude who had seen the letter and a bunch of his friends come to her house, and they're fucking around on her property, like partying and shit. And so she calls the cops, which I think is an entirely justified action. They're on your property, they are trespassing, you don't have to allow them to be there. And like, I think she's racist and weird in other ways, but that action itself I do not think is a problem, in my opinion, from what I've read about the situation so far. And so that's kind of like the thing that made Kelly break up with her, because he thought he was because he thought she was racist because the guy was black, and he ended up getting arrested, and he had cocaine in his pocket, and he ended up having his life kind of fucked up for a while because of it. No, that's not her fault that he had cocaine. It's not her fault that he was trespassing. Not her problem. Anyway, so Kelly has this idea of her being this big racist bitch, but it's like Kelly himself is showing his fucking ignorant ass. And then, okay, and then, on top of the racism, the sexism, Kelly's telling Amira she has to quit her job. You can't work for her anymore. You can't do that. She's a grown woman. Don't tell her how, like, you're telling this woman, this black woman, that it's unsafe for her. You're telling this grown woman what she can and can't do. You're telling her how racism affects her. You're telling, like, stop it. Stop mansplaining and white-splaining racism to this black woman. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? It's so frustrating. It's so ridiculous to me. And it's, everybody around Amira is trying to, like, coerce her, and is treating her like she's a kid. Like, she can't understand things. Like, she can't think for herself. Like, come on. Your ignorant, prejudiced ass is showing. Yeah, that's where I'm at right now with this book. It's really good. It's so good. Because me ranting about this, it's not because I dislike the book. I love ranting. I love to speak. But I love this book so much. Like, it's so good. And oh my god, it's just like riling me up inside. I'm really interested to see where this goes. I just want Kelly to go away though. Like, Alex is so annoying. She's like manipulating situations, and I'm just like, you are weird. Like, stop telling about your black friends. Stop counting up the amount of black people in a room. You're so strange, and like, I don't like her. And I don't like Kelly. I do like Amira though. Yeah, so there's my thoughts on that so far. I'm just losing my mind. I'm like, why y'all acting like this? How can you not see? Like, Kelly's all on his high horse, right? But like, he's legit said the N-word to her. It's like, you're not any better than Alex, okay? I don't know where you're coming from, honey, because you're nowhere near a saint. So yeah, I'm gonna go and continue listening to the audiobook because I'm just enthralled, but I just had to talk to you about it. I'm losing my mind. So this bitch is obsessed. They're both obsessed. 15 years ago, you both have careers. Get over it. Get over it. I have already forgotten and don't give a shit about people I met like a year ago. It's been 15 years. You are in your 30s. You were dating when you were like 17 and 18. Get over it. Oh. Don't stalk each other. What are you 15 years old? You're stalking him on LinkedIn? Girl, you pathetic. And he's just as fucking pathetic. And they're both racist. She has this weird fucking white savior problem, and he probably has the same thing. And like, she's like, he's fetishizing black people. Oh my god, that's so horrible. It's like, fetishizing black people is horrible, but you are so oblivious to the fact that you're a bad person too. And you clearly have some racist tendencies too. You can't be judging. I don't know where the fuck you get off on acting like you're better than him, because you aren't. I hate this woman. She's trying to interfere in Amira's relations. Again, she's not a child. Stop acting like you need to come and butt in. Your little white savior self needs to butt in and help her. I hate this woman and I hate this man. These white people be whack, okay? Like, I am losing my mind. So I'm really not in the mood or the headspace to do anything right now. I don't get into details, but yeah. But I did finish Such a Fun Age last night, so I will talk about it briefly. I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. It's literally great. The conversation about white people using black people to seem woke and shit, perfection. The caucasity of the white people in this book was just mind-numbing, but so realistic, and I think this book is really important. I really feel like everybody should read it. Like, it's well written. It's like a good quality book, and it has great conversations in it. I love it a lot. I really want to pick up a physical copy of this so I can own a copy and mark the parts that I really loved, because I bookmarked them on my audiobook. Yeah, I really want to support the author as well. Like, everybody needs to read this. It's so good. Yeah, I filmed a video today. I did my June wrap-up, which is super late, but I just like never got around to doing it, so finally put that up. It's already posted, but I thought I would say that one, Such a Fun Age was the 42nd book I read this year, so I officially completed my Goodreads challenge, which is exciting. So yeah, that's great. I also got to check off one of my reading goals, because at the beginning of the year I set 6 goals for my reading this year. One of them, like, obviously I have my reading challenge, so one of the goals was to complete my Goodreads reading challenge. We have read at least 1 classic, read at least 3 nonfiction books, participate in a read-along/readathon, and then the other 2 are finish 3 series and reread a favorite. So I've completed 4 of them, except for the series one and the favorite one, but yeah, we're well on our way to completing all my goals. Did my reading challenge, so like, go me. I have like an unofficial reading goal, which is to read 60 books, so I'm pretty sure that's plausible. Like, that's 18 books, so I think we're doing well. We're doing well in that regard. Nothing else is going well, but that's going well, so that's pleasant. Yeah, I've been rewatching You, the TV show, and I don't know, I occasionally rewatch that show. I love You, the show. Seasons 1 and 2 I've watched, love it. I read the first book and didn't love that, but the show I think is fantastic. That's the only show I like rewatch, and I rewatch it like pretty often. But yeah, that's currently what I'm up to. Yeah, I'll update you when I've read something. Still, Throne of Glass still has not happened. Hopefully it happens soon. Just coming back 3 seconds later to say, such a fun age. I think it's also really important to talk about for that book. It's a lot about like white savior and that white savior mindset where you as a white person need to save or protect people of color from racism and shit like that when you're inadvertently being racist and not noticing. So yeah, just thought I'd put that in there. Hello, so I'm at the dog park, hence why my doggies are here. Jasper, you want to look at the camera? There we go. And Remy's right there. But I thought I'd update you quickly because I just started my new audiobook. Oh, look at my boy. Hi. Hi. I started a new audiobook and I'm actually listening to The Best Lies by Sarah Liu. Picture here. This is my favorite book of all time. I've already read it, obviously, and I read it physically the first time, so now I'm going to be doing the audiobook, hence why I'm listening to it. I just need a new audiobook to listen to, and I was like, you know what? I've been wanting to reread a favorite, and this is my favorite of all favorites. And I've been having, like, some personal issues, and, like, I want to read this book because the character Remy in this book, even Elise, but mostly Remy, deals with a lot of, like, familial issues that I relate to on like a fucking soul level. So I just started the audiobook. I'm like 2 chapters in, so like I don't have much to say on it. I'll give you a synopsis later because these guys really want to go. But I thought I'd just update you on what I'm reading. Still haven't started Throne of Glass. Sorry, girly, but I'm trying. I did post my July wrap-up though. It's July 31st. I'm so responsible. So yeah, that's kind of all I got to say, really. Hi, baby. There she comes. Hi, Remy. Hi, baby. Hi. Okay, here's Jasper. He's chilling over here with me. And then right there is Remy, like a little prissy princess, just sitting there because she doesn't want to walk anymore. She's just like, no, I'm not going to come with you. And I'm amazed at the attitude. Of course, we end up walking over there because she's our little princess, and we gotta go cater to her. Remy, we're coming! Are you just gonna let us leave you behind? Hi! Hi, baby! We're back. Okay. The whole crew's back together. I'm gonna put on my glasses so you don't have to look at, like, I don't know, something about glasses, when you put them on, it distracts from, like, the faults of the face. And even though I'm not supposed to wear my glasses this much, because my vision isn't actually that bad, they make me look better, so I'm gonna wear them anyway. Also, this thing is like a blanket that I can button, and when I wear it, I feel like I look very strange, but it's very warm, so whatever. I think now it's Sunday because it's like 1 or 2 a.m. So it's Sunday. Haven't talked to you in a second. I think the last time I talked to you, I told you I was listening to The Best Lies. The book is over there, but the dust jacket's here. And I never gave you a synopsis, but I did tell you this is my favorite book. So woo! I'm 50 pages into this, and a synopsis of this book. Basically, Remy's got some family problems, and this book is told in 2 timelines, so the basic premise. Remy has a best friend named Elise, and Elise ends up killing Remy's boyfriend, Jack. So that's the basic premise, right? So we have 2 timelines. We have one timeline that goes from, like, right after the shooting has occurred, like, right after the boyfriend's been killed, and it goes on. And then the other timeline is from the first day that Remy and Elise meet and their friendship, like, it goes across them meeting and becoming friends. This book is about toxic friendships. I almost went into the deep plot, but then I realized, like, if I go any deeper, it's gonna probably spoil things, so I don't want to do that. But it's really just covering their friendship, how it got to where it did when the murder happened, and then afterwards, you know? I can't explain this book and make it sound good, but I love it. I'm 50 pages in, like I said. I don't have much to say on it because I'm 50 pages in. Just that, there's so many lines in the book that I relate to so much, and I annotated the book my first time around. I'll go grab it so I can show you. When I first read the book, I annotated it, and going through and reading it, because I'm not like, so I annotated it fully the first time. This time I'm just annotating very lightly because it's already annotated, right? But going through and reading what I wrote in the margins and what I highlighted and underlined is very interesting and kind of sad. Because the reason I love this book is just I relate so much with both the main characters, but mostly Remy, on her family life, and it's really hard to look at what I wrote down sometimes because it's just so sad, and I have to think back to where I was when I read the book last time, because I read it basically a year ago. I think I either finished it in July or like finished it early August, so it was basically a year ago, and it's really sad to look at, but I know it's going to be even sadder the next time I read it because I've already wrote some more annotations, because the relatability of some of the lines just gets more relatable day by day. But just currently in my life, I can really relate to a lot of the things said in this book about family, and it's sad, but it's true. And that's something I really like about annotating, is that I can go back and see what I wrote, because when I annotate, a lot of it's really personal. Especially in a book like this, because like fantasy's a little different with annotating, because a lot of times I don't find much like personal shit in there for me, but like these kind of things, especially this book because of the themes, there's a lot of relatable lines, and I'll write down really personal stuff in the book. I remember, so when I first read this, I don't remember which tab it is, but it's one of the green tabs. I wrote a date down that had happened to me recently when I read the book. And I come back to it every once in a while because it's just something that I logged in the book to remember. And it's sad, but that's something I love about annotating. It's just like, it's a log of these things and these thoughts I'm having right then. And it's really interesting to come back and look at the next time I'm reading and see the relevance and kind of understand where I was at mentally. That's all to say I'm reading this book. So I haven't read any more of it since I last told you about it because I haven't really had the opportunity to, but that's fine. Poor old Throne of Glass, which was my main priority, hasn't happened yet. I do have to still have like the first week of August, because it is the August 1st, whatever. So I still have time, but I haven't read any of this. So sorry, Throne of Glass. But it's August 1st. So I've started, oh no, it's August 2nd now. I started Prior to the Orange Tree by Samantha Shannon. Wow. Samantha Shannon. I read my pages for yesterday, so I'm on page 78, and I was scared because the glossary is literally like about 20 pages long, and that's intimidating. But yeah, so I was really scared. It's super thick, the glossary is long as hell. I was scared. But I started reading it, and it is so, I won't say easy to read, but it's accessible, and it's not as dense as I was fearing it would be, because obviously I haven't really read adult epic high fantasy. All I've read is Crescent City, which is what I'd classify new adults urban fantasy. It's like, it reads just like her YA shit, so I wouldn't really call it the same as like, it doesn't have the same vibes as like this, but my brain is being able to absorb all the information, all the world building, like I'm keeping up with it, which is making me so happy because I was so scared that I wasn't going to be able to read this, and that it was going to be like when I did physics for all of a week and like I was sitting there blank face staring at the teacher because I just like couldn't absorb any information, which side note was really stressful because like why couldn't I do physics 20? I don't know what it was about physics. Maybe it was the teacher. Probably was the teacher, but I've never sat in a class and not been able to retain any information. That was stressful as fuck. My AirPod just died, so I hope this is still recording audio. Please. But yeah, I'm loving this so far, actually. Obviously, I'm 78 pages into like an 800-page tome, so like, it could change, but I'm really, really loving this so far. To give you a synopsis that's better than like Sapphic Queens and Dragons, because that's how I've heard it pitched, and that's how I pitched it earlier because I never really wanted to read the synopsis. From the 78 pages I've read, basically this book follows multiple perspectives, but I'll talk about the ones that I care about the most. So this book follows a girl named Ead. So I just pronounce that name as Ead, and I will continue to pronounce it as Ead, but hindsight tells me it's probably not Ead. Because Ead sounds bad, like it doesn't sound right. And I googled it and I've seen a few pronunciations like Eid, so it's probably something like that, but my brain has just interpreted it phonetically, and when I'm reading I just interpret it as Ead, so that's what I'm saying. And she is a lady of the court. She's in the Innis court, and she's there kind of as a spy of sorts, but like not really, but kind of. She's there to protect Queen Sabrin, but like without telling the queen that she's protecting her, you know, it's like on the down low. And Queen Sabrin is the queen of Innis, and she has a year to produce a daughter heir, or else this like creature thing, this demon creature thing, is going to awaken and destroy things. And then another perspective we have is Tane, and she lives on like the other side of the world, and she has been training like her whole life to be a dragon rider, so she's like doing that. That's the worst synopsis I think I've ever given, but there's just a lot of shit that's going on. I'll just read like the last line of the synopsis. Meanwhile, all the shit I just told you, the divided East and West refuse to parley, and forces of chaos are rising from their sleep. So it's about all these characters. A lot of like the Ead and Sabrin are in the West, Tane is in the East, and it's like all these people on different sides of the world. I'm assuming at some point they're gonna come together because there are these demon-y kind of creatures coming to kill people and destroy things. So that's a horrible synopsis, and I'm really sorry about that, but hopefully next week, I guess in like the next vlog, I can give you a better description because it'll be farther in. But I'm really liking this. My favorite characters are Tane and Ead right now. There's some male perspectives, but I don't care as much about them. Not that I don't care about them, I just like I'm less invested in them because I love these women. They're badass and great. But Ead is probably my favorite, and then it's Tane. I just love Ead's personality, and I love what she's up to. She's like on the down low in the court, protecting Sabrin, but also disagreeing with their worldview, and it's just, I love her perspective. It's really interesting. I like her like sneaking around and shit. Tane I also really like because like the dragons are dope. I didn't know we were gonna get into the dragon content so quickly, but like love it, want more of it. I feel my eyes are hurting because of these glasses, again, because I'm not supposed to wear them that much, so I'm gonna have to go barefaced here. But yeah, I'm loving the women in this book, and the way women are portrayed is very enjoyable to me. So that's something I expected from this because I follow Samantha Shannon on Twitter, and she talks a lot about like women writing women and women writing adult fantasy. Did I mention that I'm buddy reading this? I'm buddy reading this with Ariel. Yeah, I'm really excited to keep reading this. My next section is till page 250, I do believe, so I'll get on that soon. But I thought I'd update you on the fact that I've started this and I'm really liking it. Before I close off this clip, I will say that I've tried piñata apples since last time I talked about apples at some point in this vlog, and I do like them more than Honeycrisp. I don't like them that much. Like, they're fine. They don't taste bad. Honeycrisp don't have much flavor, but piñata apples have some flavor. I wouldn't say they're a piñata though, like, because piñata implies party, and there's no party of flavor going on. But I do like them. I ate one of these like 2 days ago. This is the second one I bought, so I'm an apple connoisseur. Comment your favorite apple below. I'll probably talk to you later in the day because it's like literally like 3 a.m. or something. 2 a.m.? I think it's like 2 a.m. So, peace. Wow, I look sick right now. That's great. I'm here to wrap up this vlog and kind of just, you know, tie everything together. aka wrap it up. I don't know why I said that way. I read Such a Fun Age by Kylie Reid and gave it 5 out of 5 stars. Really love that book. I did not read any of Throne of Glass like I was supposed to, and I started The Best Lies on audiobook, read 50 pages, not much to say there, but I do have stuff to say about Priory. I'm now on page 102, I do believe, so we've made a dent. Only 700 pages to go, and I'm still really loving this. I have about 50, like on the dot, 50 pages to read for my section today, and I'm loving it. It's just getting me back into the fantasy mood. Like, I haven't been in the fantasy mood for a while, but like, I want to read a bunch more fantasy after this. Like, adult fantasy, YA fantasy, I'm kind of in the mood for everything. If you want to drop recommendations, I will gladly take them because I'm not very well versed in like the adult fantasy. So if you want to drop recs, that'd be great. I would be most inclined to read like fantasy romance, like dark fantasy romance, because I'm kind of trash for it. But yeah, I'm loving this, and I will update you more on the books I'm currently reading and should be reading, aka Throne of Glass, in next week's vlog. So thank you so much for watching. I've been Bailey. Bye bye.